A Rolex can be purchased for as little as $6,500 and as much as $75,000 MSRP. Materials, new movements, collection popularity, and complexity are all factors that influence pricing. Most Rolex watches are priced between $7,000 and $12,000 MSRP. The majority of those references are stainless steel and two-tone watches. Rolex is quite unique in the sense that buyers virtually always either retain or increase the value of their watch. This holds true even for vintage Rolex watches. Popular Rolex models such as the Hawk, Pepsi, and stainless steel Daytonas can command a 100 to 200% rise in value when compared to MSRP. But this is not the case for this video in here. I'll be sharing the Rolex sports watch that is now below retail. Welcome to Lex Life, and when it comes to luxury and lifestyle, we've got you covered. And for this video, we are going to talk about the first stainless steel sports Rolex that drops below retail. But before we begin, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and be the first to check out our latest videos. Now, let's start. The first stainless steel professional sports models from Rolex have begun to be listed for less than their retail prices. One example of this is the Rolex milgauss, reference 116400GV, with a black dial. This model trades for less than the Z Blue, which features the blue dial that everyone adores. However, this watch has a retail price of $9,150. They start lower than today's retail price on the used market, but are frequently offered outside Europe. This can result in hefty taxation when importing the watch. It is neither the watch's current market value or the possibility that it may be discontinued in 2023 that piques people's curiosity in the Rolex milgauss 116400GV. It is rather the tail that goes with it. Similar to the IWC Engineer and the Omega Railmaster, this timepiece is marketed toward professionals in the scientific and engineering fields. It's a good size for a sporty-looking wristwatch. It has been in production for a really long time, since like 2009, and what we're seeing on the forums from reputable sellers, which we define as sellers with at least 10 positive feedback from transactions within the last year or so, is that this watch is now being listed for as low as $8,200 against a current retail price of $9,150. And this is a 10% discount below the retail price in comparison to all other brands of watches. This is the only one that appears to have a large discount applied. To wit that we can observe, the Sea Dweller and the Explorer are two of the professional models that are considered to have a lower level of desirability. Both of these models are priced at the absolute lowest possible level on the forums. And while they are considered to have a lower level of desirability than other models such as GMT Masters and Daytonas, their prices are still relatively close to retail on those other forums, whereas this one is solidly 10% less than retail. Now I know the topic gets more and more interesting from here, but I want to know, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section below so that we can talk about it. Prices like these have never been seen in our experience when it comes to items that have little to no intrinsic value. Once they're traded on the secondary market, the retail price level has always been a psychological barrier or threshold. Because of this, the fact that the price of something like a Rolex stainless steel professional watch has dropped below that level represents, in my opinion, something significant that is happening in the market from a psychological point of view. If you look at the Rolex market index as a whole, you'll notice that we're currently at a low point that hasn't been reached in the past 18 months in terms of the aggregate performance of the 30 watches that make up the index. This is another noteworthy statistic. The index has not been this low since the middle of 2021, specifically in May of that year, and it is anticipated that costs will continue to decline, particularly for the Sea Dweller, Explorer, and the milgauss models. It appears that they have reached totally unprecedented heights in the past year. as seen by the listing prices that we have seen on forums, despite the fact that the supply of Rolexes is continuing to increase. This could be due to a number of factors, since the first signs of a market downturn in February of this year, the number of Rolex watches listed each month from the 30 watches in the index has been higher than the number of watches sold, and as a result, the total supply in the market has continued to increase every month since February, up to and including November. This is sort of tracked through all of our aggregate data across all of the data sources. It is now quite well established that a number of Rolex sports watches made of stainless steel are truly available right now. However, nothing has changed. It is certainly true that some of those assumptions are no longer true and prices are dropping, given the overall macroeconomic outlook and everything that was going on in the world 3 or 4 months ago. However, it is also true that prices will not fall below retail, which was a cop-out to avoid taking a more strident stance at that time. I believe that the way the market has changed over the past few months is basically a continuation of a lot of the trends that we've been seeing since earlier in the year. So in that sense, I don't think anything major has changed. I mean, even many mainstream, like financial publications, have sort of speculated over the last couple months about this. I think it's interesting that the community seems to have gone from, maybe this uncertainty. When prices first started falling, everyone was sort of wondering, what's going on? When will the price be going to stop falling because it seems overwhelming? Yes, certainly, for Rolex it appears to be continuing to drop at about the same rate. Like an enthusiast audience or whatever, but some audience seems to be telling us that you want the prices to fall even further, and that this was not sustainable, and that basically, you guys would be excited to buy Rolex watches once they drop below retail. And also, I see that a lot of you guys are still talking about how the retail market is still ridiculous, and maybe your definitive sign of a marketer is when they say things like, the retail market is still ridiculous, and maybe those who have been collecting Rolex watches for a number of years can attest to the fact that we are currently in an extremely favorable position relative to all previous peaks. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell to receive updates in our latest videos. Also, feel free to leave us a comment. If you want to watch more videos, head on over to our channel to see more from Lux Live. See you!